Hello and welcome to episode 546 of the Awesome Comics Podcast, the place where the small press makes one hell of a big noise. My name is Vince Hunt, and God, it feels good to be able to breathe through my nose again after a couple of weeks, let me tell you.
Must be difficult at certain times.
Why? Why are you saying that, Tony Esmond?
With your trumpet playing.
Right, that's something that's an off-record thing that no one else will understand. Well, some people might understand. But in a weird turn of events, I've introduced Tony Esmond first. But as always, I'm also joined by the creator of Vanguard, the epic webcomic that is making its triumphant return in 2026, Mr. Daniel Butcher.
Hello.
The pyro goes off. Boo, 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 boo. And we'll talk about
2026.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Vanguard. Yeah, we'll talk about that little announcement later. And it's not just three amigos this week. We're also joined by a fourth amigo, a quartet of amigos. What does that mean? There must be a name for it. You know how you have a murder of crows or a flock of sheep. What do you call a gang of? No, we can't see that on the screen, Tony, and that's pointless for our audio listeners. Jesus.
I want to show it to Matt.
Well, you can later. Just message him privately. Anyway, Matt who? Well, joining us this week to talk about being a creator in the year of our Lord Satan 2025 is our pal and creator of the amazing Steamroller Man. Once again, welcome to the show, Matthew Schofield.
Welcome. Hello. Thank you for having me back on the show. I'm so happy to be here.
Just a quick shout out. I appreciate all the efforts of the slackers to take pictures of us, like famous trios.
Yeah.
And works in.
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
That was pretty
that works this week because we can be the Three Musketeers in D'Artagnan with.
D'Artagnan.
Yeah, that's perfect. That is. I'm clearly Athos.
Oh, I've had this before.
Yes, you know which one you are.
He's setting you up, Tony.
I'm sending you that fucking picture now, Matt.
Yeah, and I will tell you what it means after the show.
Yeah.
But of course, this week we're going to get it. There's plenty of cool comics to recommend and add to your wish lists and everything else. But we're going to just jump straight in, I think, this week and just talk about. Obviously, we're in December now. The last couple of shows of the year are on the horizon. We've got a little Christmas comic read to do, which is going to be a lot of fun. And obviously, it's not the best of, is it? It's just I'll look back on 2025, which is always interesting.
Might have a whiz quiz as well.
Some standouts.
Yeah. Well, this week we might also have a little quiz as well, based on Wizard.
Yes.
Matt, did you ever read Wizard back in the day?
Yeah, I was actually a subscriber to Wizard back in the day.
Oh my God.
I liked it that much.
Wow.
Were you in the US then, were you?
Yeah, back in like 95, 96,
okay.
somewhere around that. It was when I first moved to the US. And so I thought like, oh, I live in the US now. I can actually subscribe.
You can actually fill those bits out in comics. They send them to you. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Exactly.
That we used to dream
exactly.
of.
Yeah. So I subscribed for a couple of years. Yeah.
I didn't know about pull lists for a little while, so I had to go into the comic shop every week. It wasn't a massive chore, I must admit.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you, Dan.
Well, talking about the US being different from the UK, you got given a present by Alan Liska this week of some, was it Musketeer bars or something? Is that right?
Three Musketeer. Yes, I've never had a Musketeer bar, and Alan bought a whole big
Have you
pack.
corrected that yet, Dan? Or is it a Christmas treat?
No, I've eaten them already.
There's a massive packet.
Okay.
They're awesome. They're basically like Milky Ways.
Oh, right,
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
God, I love a Milky Way.
Cheers, Alan. They went down a storm.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. You might hear that name again later in the shout-outs.
Yeah.
But creating comics this year, of course, there's been all kinds of stuff happening. The world always changes. It always moves on. The world of comics is forever changing. We're just finding new soapboxes to stand on this show, usually every week, aren't we? I don't think this year I have whinged about digital prices or anything like that as much as I have in the past.
Do you think so?
No, I don't think so.
But I think I've found a lot of other things to whinge about. Sure.
I've moaned about general prices, not just digital prices.
Yeah. But away from all of that, what's it been like from the creation perspective? Now, Matt, you've had quite a year, haven't you? Would you say? How's
Have
your
I?
year? How's your year? But well, you were telling us a little story just a minute ago about a little comics.
Oh,
fair
right, yeah.
off air, which left you buzzing. There's some other things that are on your Substack that we're looking forward to getting into as well. So, how has this year been for you as an independent and small press comic creator on the whole?
Well, this year's been the first year that I've actually been doing comic conventions as a creator, and that's been like a dream of mine for years and years since I first went to my first San Diego Comic-Con when I first moved over to the States back in, like, I think 96 was the first time I went.
Yeah.
And I was really intrigued at that time by the small press area. I'm really inspired by, these guys are just doing their own thing and they're getting out there and putting their comic out. And, so the whole thing with Steamroller Man and making Steamroller Man was all about, for me, making my own comic and eventually achieving the goal of being behind the table at a comic convention. And so this year was the first year that I started to do that. And you mentioned my Substack. I've written, like, I kind of write every time I've done a new convention. I write about the experience because I'm still trying to work out. Sorry.
It's a great Substack. It's really good.
Yeah, I really enjoy a Substack, man. Yeah, I really do.
Oh, thanks very much. I enjoy yours too, Tony. I love tops and bottoms, and it's great. Can I just say, like, this sounds horrible, but I love getting to the bottom.
See, what is this now?
Here's another piece of shit comic. It makes me laugh so much. I love it.
Never going to run out of content on that one.
I
tell you.
Yeah, it's an easy find, that one. Yeah. Some of them I think, you sort of thinking, you prepare yourself thinking, what am I going to have for the best one? Am I going to say something else? And you think, when I come to write it, I'll just look for a bad comic. And you just find one within minutes. Yeah. On a certain reading app.
But yeah, so I since I'm still so new to doing comic conventions, I'm still trying to work out, like, what's the secret formula for success at a comic convention. And so far, like, every one of them has been slightly different. There's no, like, at least for me, like, I'm gradually working out, like, what works and what doesn't work. And some things only work with a certain crowd, and then other things won't work with a different kind of crowd in terms of, like, the convention goers, because you have your pop culture, your more pop culture focused conventions where it's, not everyone who's going to those bigger conventions is there to find a new independent comic, something, strange and interesting that they haven't seen before. They're there because their favorite TV shows, actor cast is there doing a signing. And then, those kind of convention goers are more like, they still make comics. Whereas other conventions, which are a bit more focused on independent comic makers and stuff, those attendees are really, like, they're looking for they're into comics already, and they're looking for interesting and new stuff that they haven't seen before. So I mean, that's what the main focus of my comic making year has been.
How is that?
Doing conventions and stuff.
I mean, once you get into the convention sort of game, as it were, and start tabling, have you noticed it having any sort of effect or change to the way that you actually create? Because normally there's so many of us creating comics in this bubble. Some people haven't tabled. There are a lot of people out there who haven't tabled. But like you say, once you're out there and you're tabling, and then, like you say, you're starting to think, well, this table's better for that. And that takes up a certain amount of brain space that you didn't have before, because that was used just for the comic, wasn't it? Have you noticed any sort of, like, creative, has it affected your work in any way?
I think my work output has definitely slowed down this year because I've added I've had to spread my spare, because I work on it in my spare time, as most of us do.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the time that I would be making new pages, I've been doing stuff to get ready for the next convention, and Kickstarter, still trying to put together the Kickstarter for the second issue.
Does that have a knock-on effect, or can it have a knock-on effect for morale sometimes? Because, like, I think these are just little things that I think creators don't think about sometimes. Because when you're just making the comic, it's all steam ahead, you're loving it. And then when these other little factors that are the distractions, I mean, they're good distractions because you're going to conventions and stuff, but they are little things that you didn't think about before. And like you say, when it slows down the comic making process, some people can get in their head like, why am I not making as many comics as I was? Because they're not thinking about the effort that they've put into the tables. It can, for some people, it probably can have an unseen knock-on effect, can't it?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. At least in the way that I think about things, like I'm very not regretful, but it's definitely something that I sort of mentally torture myself a little bit about, not being able to produce the actual material for the next issue. I want to be just getting this story done.
Yeah.
Like I've done 3 issues.
Which is brilliant, which is already amazing compared to
a lot of
thanks.
Yeah.
But like I have the 4th issue all plotted out with a page breakdown. But I haven't had a chance to start drawing that because I don't want to split my focus even more. Like I'm not really great at multitasking. I tend to jump around, and like now I'm focusing on doing convention stuff, and now I'm focusing on getting the Kickstarter for issue 2 ready, and now I'm focusing on writing the plot for issue 4. And so it's not like I haven't worked out how I can efficiently do all those things simultaneously when I'm only working on my comic stuff for maybe 2 hours every day before work, so before my day job. So
I guess that's why a lot of people enjoy working with a publisher and an editor, because the editor takes away a bit of the weight from that. A publisher takes away the whole booking you at conventions, booking tables, sometimes, not always. Maybe that's because we often think, why would people go with a publisher when they can make so much more money out of their comic by publishing it themselves? And I think there is that, isn't it? Other than the established sort of PR network they've got. But I think just taking a lot of the weight off it. I've seen quite a lot
marketing.
of it. Yeah. I'm behind the scenes on the Hellbreaker book at the moment. I'm seeing the amount of work that Lisa's putting into it, and you think, God, if that was me, it'd be taking so much time away from writing stuff and the creative force behind it.
I mean, I've been thinking while I've been preparing the Kickstarter for issue 2, I've thought so many times, like someone could make like a literal job for themselves out of preparing Kickstarters for comic creators, because if the comic creator is anything like me, we just want to do the comic. I don't want to be working out like, what should I price my rewards at, and what's a fair system of the tiers and of the reward tiers. And I don't want to be making like, if I'm going to be doing stuff art-wise on my computer, I'd much rather it be drawing panels of my comic than, I got to produce a graphic for this reward tier on the Kickstarter page. And so it's there's such a heavy
or a pie
load.
Chart that showcasing where the money's.
All that stuff. It's like, it's all good to do that, because I do think like it does help your Kickstarter page look better, which I do think translates to people being more inclined to back your campaign if you've got a slick looking page. But
not to mention the fulfillment. So once you've passed that, you've passed over that peak, and it's all been paid for and everything, and then all you want to do is get on with the next issue, don't you? But you're thinking, Christ, I've got to fill envelopes and walk to the post office.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, so going back to Vince's question, it is somewhat disheartening in a way. But I think it's just part of the game, you know, unless you're perfectly happy doing your comic and only doing it online and, you know, just putting a page up whenever you get it done, because that's what I used to do. And that was great. But I always did want to get my comic into print and have like a print copy to sell at conventions. And so to do that means it's a whole extra added,
it's a different game, isn't it?
Yeah.
The print
bag of stuff to do, you know. So
yeah. There is a subtle art to cutting yourself some slack as well, you know, because I think a lot of creative people are really hard on themselves about certain things. But there is.
What's that? Cutting myself some slack. What does that mean? I don't even know.
Welcome
that's
to the Psychology podcast.
Yeah.
Right.
This is where we're going to lay you bare in front of the. No.
Right.
No, but I think there's a lot not like that, Tony. It's not a video show, unfortunately.
Just for me,
Thank
then.
goodness.
But I think it's worth saying, because there's a lot of creators out there, and myself included. You know, there's all these things in life that take away from the forward momentum of creativity, and you know, when you're not creating, if you're a creative person that's not creating or has stalled on creating or slowed on your creation and stuff, that part of the brain that just grows and grows and grows is how much you beat yourself up about it. And it's not, you know, that's effort you should be using somewhere else. You know, I think there's many people out there who are giving themselves a hard time who don't need to give themselves a hard time, because like you, mate, like you're making this comic and you're doing all this stuff that you say, like the conventions, and you're doing all this stuff. It's all really positive stuff in support of what you're doing, and we know at the end of it, you know, the next issue will take a little bit longer, but we're still going to get the next issue and it's going to be awesome. So, you know, it is going to be awesome.
I mean, thank you very much. But it's more difficult to tell yourself that, especially when you're, because I think especially as if you're like a solo comic creator, you're not working with a team or another, at least like writer artist. So if even it's just a 2-person team, you've got that sort of pressure release valve to be able to talk to the other person and say like, oh, I thought my art was terrible, sorry, or whatever. And then the writer can say like, what are you talking about? Like, it looks fantastic. But if you're just by yourself, like I know Dan is in the same kind of boat as I am, writing and drawing, and Dan also colors, which I look at Dan's pages and I'm like, how do you do it? Writing and drawing, but then you do like these amazing color treatments on every page, and I'm like, what the, like, how do you find the time?
It can get very lonely, even though you kind of you got people around the creatives who kind of are doing very similar stuff to you, but like at the end of the day, when the comic comes out, it kind of lives and breathes on your skill and merit and nothing else. You know what I mean? It's a hard one. So if it fails, you're kind of like, oh god.
That's like an interesting one. How do we measure failure, though? Do you know what I mean? I think.
Yeah. Well, you did it when you did the unboxing video of Steamroller Man.
Right.
Do you want to take us through that, Matthew?
So give us a bit of context on that.
Yeah. So what I normally like to do, what I did for my first Kickstarter campaign was I got a proof copy printed, just so, because I knew there would be things that I would see in the print version that I had never noticed when it was just a digital file on my computer screen. And I also thought like, oh, it would be cool to do an unboxing video, because I'd seen a lot of creators do unboxing videos when they got their first copy of their comic back. And especially because it was the first issue of Steamroller Man, and I'd always dreamed of seeing my own work in print. So I did an unboxing video for issue 1, and it was great. And I captured the moment where I was like, oh my God, I've been dreaming of this moment for 30 years. Like, and it was so cool to, like, I sent the video to my mum and my sisters in Australia, and one of my sisters was like, oh, it made me cry because I know you'd been dreaming of this for so long. So, I was like, yeah, well, you're feeling what I felt on camera. And so for the second issue, I thought, well, I'll do the same thing again.
Yeah.
And so I did the video, but then the feeling was different. And I was really kind of like thrown off my game by the fact that I didn't get that dopamine hit from opening the second issue. And then I started, not only that, but when I started looking through the issue, like, you know, doing like a quality control pass type thing, like just looking at each page, seeing like any spelling mistakes, any, you know, art things that I could tweak before I do actually go full steam ahead with the Kickstarter campaign. And as I started to find, and, you know, it wasn't major things. It was just small things like, oh, the lettering in this word balloon is too close to the edges of the balloon. Yeah. And, oh, there's a part in this panel where I moved the word balloon, but I didn't draw the artwork that was under the word balloon after I moved it. So there's like a little gap of blank. So it's like real nitpicky stuff. But I think that, coupled with the feeling of like, oh, why didn't I feel as happy to see this issue in print as I did the first time? And that just sort of sent me in a spiral, because then I started being unhappy about being unhappy, which is the worst place to be.
As I understand from what you've been saying as well, Matthew, is you're previous to that, you'd been very pleased with the story and that you'd added new characters and all that sort of thing as well, hadn't you?
Right. Yeah, I had to, like, so I went into this basically imposter syndrome spiral.
Right.
And I felt like, and so I didn't drop the video on my Substack, because I do a weekly, I really try hard to keep to a weekly email schedule on my Substack. But I couldn't bring myself to do it because I thought I can't authentically make a positive post about this unboxing video because right now I feel like a bit of a fraud. You know, putting a video up, but when I'm feeling like, what am I doing? Like, this doesn't look, what was I even thinking? Like, this isn't as, you know, I'm doing this stupid comic about a superhero with a giant steamroller for a head. Like, what is this? You know, like, I was really like I think in hindsight, I was being quite unfair to myself. But at the time, you know, it's hard when you're in the middle of it to realize from inside the spiral that like, oh, you're being silly. Like, just snap out. You can't just tell yourself to just snap out of it.
But I almost feel like that's better than being Mr. Happy, loving yourself all the time. I think we do need it, man. You know,
right?
Constructive.
It's real.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with that on the principle of
other people, but not myself.
No.
Okay.
I mean, like, you need to be able to identify flaws in your own work. To become aware of them, and then secondly, to work on improving or correcting those flaws. So I really don't believe in being like, I'm Mr. Perfect. I'm, you know, my work's fantastic. And I'm not saying that that's what I ever thought.
No, we've never
it's
seen
just that I didn't feel, I wasn't being, essentially, like, I wasn't feeling like I could support my own work authentically enough to do a promotional, like, hey, everybody get revved up because here's the proof copy of Steamroller Man #2 and it's coming to Kickstarter real soon. I just felt
probably
like
a
I'm
lot
being
of people,
a fraud.
Though. Yeah, but there's probably a lot of people though, man, that do that have the same experience that you had, and then they put the mask on. They put the mask on to do the marketing. Do you know what I mean? There is a certain, because we live in
you
the
kind
age
of need to do that.
The cult of personality, isn't it? You can't show yourself being too real. So, people are scared of being too real sometimes.
Well, usually the self-realization that you're spiraling is usually the moment it starts to break and you come out of it. But like I said, when you're going down, nosediving down, and you can't seem to break it, it can be tough.
Definitely. I mean, and that was part of the reason why I decided, well, if I can't be authentically positive about the comic arriving in itself, then I can still do a Substack post about not feeling positive, but I still wanted to put a positive spin on it. And so I knew in the back of my mind, I knew like this is not right. Like, why am I feeling this way? And so I took a couple of weeks where I didn't post an update, because I was just trying to work out where these feelings were coming from and why was I feeling that. And then I was like, I got to figure out a way to break myself out of this so that I can be authentically excited about my second issue of my comic.
Do you have a sort of strategy if you kind of got presented with a similar scenario, how you deal with it and kind of recognize it happening from this experience?
I think that ultimately, like, imposter syndrome comes from comparison. Like you're comparing yourself to either people doing the same thing you're doing, but who maybe have been doing it longer. So of course they're going to be more skilled at doing what you want to do. But it's also comparing yourself to your own standards. Like, in a way, like, that's how I ended up I actually did some journaling. Like, I just started writing out, like, not feeling positive about this. Why not? Why am I not feeling positive? And so through the process of just writing out my feelings, it crystallized them and made them not feel as big and scary as they were when they're just swirling around in my head.
So giving them form.
And what's that?
Yeah. You're sort of giving them form.
Yes,
as opposed
exactly.
to just being sort of some nebulous demon that could kind of just prey on you at will.
Right, right.
Yeah. So what? Just to summarize a little bit, if you don't mind, just so it helps clarify what you're talking about. Is you're saying, because this is kind of the first project that you've done that's all you, and because we're buddies, we know that you work in the creative industry, you produce things, that are on a weekly basis, pretty much, that go out and have big opinions on them. But this, because it's all you. You've had the first peak, and then you've had the second dip. The peaks and valleys, the second valley. What are you thinking about now? Because as you say, you've got issue 3 done. What's your feelings on 3 now? Has it made you hesitate putting it out, or how are you feeling about going ahead?
No, I mean, at no point did I think I can't put this out.
Right.
Like,
well, that's
it was
positive,
more.
then. Yeah.
It was more more a sense of, I got to work out what the hell's going on, because I need to want to put this out. Like, not putting issues 2 and 3 out after I'd done so much work to get them done is not an option for me. You know, going back to the convention thing, I'd recently thought like I need to get my second and third issue into print so I have more things on my convention table.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, only having one issue to sell means that I'm almost always making a loss from the cost of doing the convention. And so I just thought, like, if I can get more issues, then I may have the odd person who comes past and is like, oh, I'll take all three.
Yeah.
And so then it's
or,
like,
oh, issue two's
great.
out. Or yes,
exactly.
Did you have issue 2 at the recent one, Matt? I know you recently did a sort of small pub convention, didn't you?
No. The only copy of issue 2 is this proof copy.
Right.
Here.
Nice.
So that's the one that I featured in the unboxing video.
Yeah. Which looks lovely.
Thanks.
Yeah, I love that cover.
Yeah.
I love the old Marvel homage.
But it's interesting.
Yeah.
Me too.
Like, you know, you're putting yourself through this sort of emotional ringer.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's not. I mean, it's your opinion on the work, but there's countless other people that don't know what you're going through, who would read it and just be like, "This is amazing. I love this." Just like I love issue. You know, people don't have any concept of it, but the individual creator, it's their journey, isn't it? That's just. You're the only person to see it. There will be people that come to your table that just won't have any idea that you've been through all this because it continues the same form as issue 1, issue 2.
But I also think from what you're saying there, Vince, is that that's what happens, But I think what you've done there is you've been, I don't want to call it brave, but you've been solid enough to be able to put it online and say, look, this is how I felt. Yeah. Because your Substack isn't about Steamroller Man, it's about your journey.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Right.
Is that right?
Right. Yes, that's correct. And the reason, just to tie it into ACP, the reason I thought it might be a good thing to actually write about in an honest way about like, hey, I was feeling this way and I did come out of it, and here's what I did to come out of it. The reason I thought that would be a good thing to write about was because I remember, I think it was a few months ago on the ACP Slack, somebody had talked about, hey, just need to do a reality check here, guys. I'm feeling deep in the depths of imposter syndrome, and kudos to everyone on the Slack, because it's such a supportive group that it's like birds dive bombing with positivity. As soon as the call was put out, it's like, well, try this. Don't worry. I've seen your work and it looks great. And
I mean, the theme of the underlying theme here, Matt, is you've got no fucking reason. That's how I feel about it. It is easily one of the best comics in the small press world, as far as I'm concerned. Definitely one of the best drawn ones. And you've got literally no reason to. But it's interesting that even someone who's creating something that's such high craft feels that as well. That's why we think it's an important thing to talk about.
Yeah, because to feel it is absolutely valid, isn't it? I mean, the word valid is thrown about a lot, but it is absolutely.
I've always questioned. I had my sort of take on imposter syndrome is like you kind of question your position and your judgment on what you thought was good and was right. So what you thought was red was actually blue, and you think, well, if I was wrong there and that was the wrong decision, have I been wrong on this? Is this not any good? Or you literally start questioning everything you've done involved with that project. Think, am I just completely off base?
That's exactly what I was feeling. Yes.
Yeah, it really kind of like it can really do you, because the one sort of like fair weather gauge you've got is yourself. And that's suddenly thrown out of whack.
And I think some people might think that when we say imposter syndrome, it's like, we're talking about solo small press creators looking at big pro artists in the big two, and it's not. I think a lot of the time it's not that. I think a lot of people are wise enough to be like, well, they're pros, they're doing it professionally. If you compare yourself to these people who are doing it day in and day out, never mind the thief of joy, that would be the thief of fucking everything, But it's sometimes comparing your, when you see your peers or compared to yourself, because we all set standards for ourselves, don't we? I mean, certainly whenever you do a comic book page, whenever I've done a comic book page, I've got an idea of what that comic book page looks like, and what it turns out like is nothing like the thing I had in my head.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I could be happy with it. I could be happy with it. But it's not the thing that I pictured. Do you know what I mean? It's strange.
Yeah.
It's a strange way to translate.
Well, that's what, like, it's sort of tying in what Dan was just saying to what you were saying earlier, Vince, in that, and also, like, it's what we've all been talking about, basically, like, the voices that are coming from outside with praise, unfortunately, are never going to be as loud as the voice inside your head.
Yeah.
And if the voice inside your
should
head...
it be.
Hey?
Yeah.
I don't think it should be. I don't think
The
the
exterior voices
outside
shouldn't overpower the inside.
No way.
voice.
No,
Right.
I think it should be you. That's who should be the best opinion. Don't
But
listen.
the problem comes when that voice turns negative.
Yeah.
And then you can't hear anything else but that voice, even though you're getting people saying, like, very, very kindly just praised Steamroller Man. But
if you're in a negative mindset, you don't take it as legit or genuine.
Sometimes, you're like, oh, thank you, but you don't know.
But how long does that mindset? How long do you sit with that mindset though? It can't last forever. Do you ever twist and sort of give yourself a shake and say, "Come on, what are you doing?" Go for a walk, go for a run. 2 weeks later, you think this is actually quite good. It changes, doesn't it?
It does change. That's exactly what I did. Went for a walk, because it gets you out of that headspace that you're in. Where if you're just sitting and thinking, then that's just going to echo and amplify in your head. But if you can get out and go for a walk and get other, like if your body's moving and the blood is pumping and stuff, and you're getting visual and audio stimulation, so it fills your head with something else.
Yeah.
And then you can sort of reset your mind a little bit, and your mind can kind of just like avoid that needle skipping on the record kind of phase that you were in, and it kind of jumps to the next track where it's like, oh, hang on. And that's kind of where I got to, because then I started thinking, you sort of adjust your perspective, and I sort of realized, okay, if my mind is telling itself all this negative stuff, then my mind can just as easily tell itself positive stuff. And so then I want to write down all the stuff that I like about the second issue, and all the stuff that I don't like about the second issue, which I did.
I think that's really useful, man. Sorry to interrupt, but I think you also got to weaponize the negativity. I think you've got to use it. If you're like being that critical in yourself, what are you being critical about? Pin it down. I'm being critical about that space underneath the balloon. Right, change it. I'm being critical about the shape of the balloon. Change
it moving forward. I think that's an important step. If the tires are spinning in the mud, then don't just stay in the mud. You got to move.
Oh no, you got to do something about it. Yeah. You got to get out and push the car through the mud. Yeah. That's the only way to do it. That's a fucking terrible analogy, isn't it? But
positive action is always kind of going to
constructive.
It's so easy. Exactly. When you put stuff off and off and off, and then you just do it, and you think, why don't just fucking do that? Like,
exactly.
And it's like it was nothing. But
but I think as well as you were talking about there, which is really interesting, Matt, is the noise that surrounds you when you're in the house, for example. So you go for a walk. You've also got that noise surrounding you of what people's opinions are about your work, and I think you've got to be able to put that to the side, because who do you trust? Do you trust the stranger who don't really like what you're doing, or do you trust the friend? You can't trust them. Who is it that has that independent view on your? There's nobody really out there that, especially since you haven't released it yet.
We're gonna have a bias.
So you've only got yourself to trust. And I think you're right. Getting that new perspective is the only way to do it, I think.
Yeah. It's interesting. That ties into what Vince asked at the beginning, where you asked, does the convention experience and the interaction with people who are readers or who are buying the comic, does that influence my work going forward? And no, it doesn't. Like, I don't listen to what anybody wants me to do, because and I think because because my comic is a comedy comic, everyone thinks they're a comedian, right? And so I get so many suggestions of like, oh, you should make him do this. Oh, you should make him do that. And I'm just like, that's great. And then I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Like, that's the best thing. That's how I am. I love that. Right. When people say to me, your comics are too crass, I fucking make them more crass, mate. Just to wind you up. That's how I do it.
If you start compromising and changing, it doesn't become the comic that you set out to make. Do you know what I mean? It's not your voice.
No compromise.
So,
exactly.
It's like, I really like your comic, but it'd be great if you did X, Y, and Z. It's like, well, if I did X, Y, and Z, it wouldn't be the comic that you like, because it's moved away from it.
Exactly. But that's all part of the creative process, is what you're going through. That sort of negativity towards your product. I mean, it's that sort of phases of grief sometimes when you're making something, isn't it? And you just got to ride it out, man, and use it, weaponize it. I think, the happiness and the sadness.
That comparison thing, you often see, like, said, I've got a new comic coming out, and it's like, it's really thinking, oh fuck, like, he's put out another new 24-page comic, but that's been months and months and months in the making. Thinking about the artwork, you just kind of judge the final product coming along, and not seeing the toil.
It's a different thing for the writer, because I wrote some things 2 years ago that are now coming out. And it's like almost like I've put it aside in my emotions and my brain. It's been put slightly aside. And also, so when someone says, I want to change this character into a frog, I go, right.
But like, from a writing perspective, like, do you ever like forget what you've written as well? Because I do sometimes. Like, even sometimes when you do a script or you write something and you go back 6 months later, read it, and just think, actually, that's not bad. Because
I'm terrible for remembering. I'm terrible for remembering characters' names that I've written. And people even at conventions will go, "I love the way Brian does that," and I'm like, "Yeah, me too. Who's Brian again?" I'm like literally that bad.
With a silly cast on Vanguard,
it's massive.
What's that fucking girl's name again? And come back.
That must be the worst, man. I couldn't do it. I don't know how you do it.
I don't know how you do it. Like, you've got this epic thing that's been going
kill him off.
He just kills them mercilessly. But was that something you had in mind, Dan, when you did Viper? Because Viper was obviously had its origins in something different, but it's since grown and become like the third issue.
Well, it's always going to be like a TV cast, so you had like one or two main characters, one or two side characters, and the rest is like every episode of the week there's a different cast member. You got sort of
that works, isn't it?
So
it's the reason Hasselhoff could remember names.
The massive amounts
after a few drinks.
Burgers. After that video really sprawled on the floor. So that's kind of like really easy. I've only got to remember a couple of people's names.
But ultimately I when I did that list, there were more positives than there were negatives. And the negatives, again, like writing them down, made them seem smaller than they were, or at least manageable.
It's like a to-do list almost, I find.
Yes, exactly. And the things that there were certain things where I was like, okay, so the lettering's too close to the word edge of the word balloon. That's easy to fix because it's all digital, so I can just go in and resize the word balloon a bit. So that all those little things were easy fixes. And then the bigger things where I would be getting more critical about the artwork, things like the line width of some of these drawings is too thin to really be seen well on the printed page, even though on the digital you can see it fine. But those kind of things, I'm like, well, I'm not going back and re-inking the whole issue because that's just crazy. So those kind of things I've just sort of filed as like, okay, lesson learned. For the next issue, I'm gonna make sure my line width is never thinner than a certain thickness, so that it is going to be better reproduced on the printed page. And so it also gives me like a bit of a bit of a roadmap for going forward and what I need to work on about my artwork in the future. So it also, made me think like I have to start adjusting my art style to make it a little bit quicker to draw, so that there's not, so it was a big learning process for me, this whole experience. Like I was able to use it as a learning process about not only my own reactions to my work, but also how to proceed going forward. So ultimately, it was a very positive experience.
That's an interesting point, if you don't mind me making it. I'm nothing but full of admiration for you, Matt, because I think the perfectionist in you is what we all want in art. Whenever I've worked with artists,
in your work,
absolutely brilliant,
yeah.
And it certainly attend to it. But what I really hope for you is that you're still having fun. That's what I want to make sure. Almost as a mate, I want to make sure going forward, it's played on your mind a bit. Are we over that hump, do you think? Or, how's it evolved now as you sit there now?
I think the advantage to doing, because I think I've talked to you guys on the show before about the process that I sort of used to do Steamroller Man, and I don't script everything super detailed. Like I don't go further than an outline for what happens on the page. Yeah. And so that lets me keep having fun with the comic, because I can add stuff as I'm like, it'd be funny if this happened. This is a way that I can put a comedic spin on what has to happen on this page. And so, that's how I kind of keep it fun for myself. Honestly, like the characters of Night Night and Sleep Tyke, I threw those in at the last minute into the issue 2 story, because I was thinking like, oh, this is not like, this story is kind of, this part, the middle of the story is kind of boring. I need something to kind of like jazz it up a bit. And so I thought, I've got these 2 other characters I've made up. What if I throw them in and they work themselves into the story somehow? And they've kind of become just part of the story now. So I always do try and keep it fun for myself just by doing that kind of thing. Like I'm not just like, I've got to finish this story, whether it kills me. I'm always trying to modify and add things to the story just to keep it fun for myself, because I think that's what keeps it fun for the people reading it. Hopefully. So
Mate, I totally do the same thing, man. My script's not locked down 100%. It's like bullet points, panel, and then you can play with it.
Bullet points, exactly.
I usually end up sort of rewriting loads of stuff as I'm lettering anyway.
Yeah, even on an artist that's worked with my script, I'll go back and reword it all, because the art works differently when you see it. You sometimes don't have to include everything.
I've come up with jokes literally on the page, because I can see the artwork and just think, I think that joke will work there.
Nice.
That's quite
nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow.
Oh, thanks, mate.
But
I do appreciate
how are you
that.
feeling now, Matt? About surely you must be. I mean, we're not therapists.
You mean after this group therapy?
After let's all hold hands.
We are naked. We are naked.
Yeah, we're all going to hold hands and chant. No, but obviously you've been through all that, and brilliant. I think it's brilliant that you thought about putting this on the Substack and being so.
Thanks.
If only more artists would do this in this sort of constructive way as well.
Can I also say really well written as well?
Oh,
I really enjoy the way you write, mate. There's a really lovely conversational style to it that really good.
You need to join the Substack, listeners.
Yes.
But with issue 3 and stuff moving forward, how are you feeling about it all?
I mean, I just want it to go faster. I actually was toying with the idea of doing a Kickstarter campaign for issues 2 and 3 together, but then I just thought, I've just been working on issue 2 campaign, so I'm almost at the point where I can finally launch it.
We're all over that, man. When it goes,
I'm just that's my only. I'm feeling good about the story. Like I really think each successive issue is the best thing that I've done. You know, because I do see my work continually improving, and so I'm happier with each issue in terms of how the artwork looks and how the story flows and how the dialogue reads. I think I'm getting better at doing it just through the process of doing it.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that issue 4 will be even better than the last 3. And so, I want to keep going with it. I'm not sick of it by any means. I'm still definitely interested in continuing.
I want a 12-issue hardback of this. That's what I want.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When I'm 70 years old.
Yeah.
That's how long it'll take me to do all the 12 issues.
But you'll still be on this show.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, man, it looks brilliant. I mean, what's the plan for the Kickstarter?
So at the moment, I've just got to doing all the graphic stuff, for all the rewards and stuff. That's where I'm at right now. So it's just going to be a matter of like just going down the list and being like, oh, okay, for this reward, I still need to do a graphic for the page and all that sort of stuff. So, and it's that's tedious, but it all has to be done. So
are you doing commissions as part of it, or?
Yeah, I'll probably do. So on this one, I actually did 2 original pieces of artwork because of, how when you print something, it needs to be multiples of 4 pages.
Yeah.
So my story for issue 2 was only 34 pages. And so I thought I can do an extra 2 pages of something to make it 36 pages. And there wasn't really a point in the story for issue 2 where I could just be like, I can just drop in a double page spread here. And it'll still, the flow will still work. So I thought, okay, well, I'll do like a Hostess Twinkies style fake ad.
Oh, nice.
Using some other characters that I'd made up, called Cloudy Dave and the Mighty Yank. And so that one is in the back, on the very back page. So that's that.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So,
yeah.
I
You're a bit of
did
a
that
Captain Britain
traditionally. Yeah, it's more like the Mighty Yank is sort of like if the Punisher and Captain America were kind of merged into it's the most political thing I've ever done.
Okay.
Like normally I keep my humor like non-political. I just want this to be not divisive at all. But this was just in light of
you got a bit
what's
South
been
Park
happening in America since the last election.
We've not heard about that over here. Is something going on? Or?
Oh no!
Get that
We
quiet.
got another hour. I can fill you in.
That's the whole trouble. If you make sort of like a comic about current events, it absolutely like dates it. Like you can't watch like Have I Got News from You from 10 years ago because it's like
I think it's current tropes as well. There's leaning into the tropes that are of the moment sometimes dates it as well.
Yeah. So that page is not. I mean, it's not like hyper political, but it's definitely got a tinge of like.
Fair enough.
Oh, I can see what you're kind of referencing here. And then the other page I did was like a fake comic cover because I love the Lois Lane, Superman's girlfriend, Lois Lane. Covers,
cool.
Just those DC Silver Age covers.
There's
where
some
it would
crazy
be
ones, isn't there, of that?
Some wacky, like Jimmy Olsen is getting married to a gorilla kind of story, and you're like, what the hell is going on? So I've always loved those kind of covers, and I've always wanted to do my own version of that. So I did a Steamroller Man themed.
You can see why Grant Morrison based half of his career on those covers, didn't you? Because they are such fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one where Superman like has to keep eating or he'll die. And it's like loads of pies, and it's just like, this is fucking crazy.
I've got the one where Lois Lane, is it Superman Family, where Lois Lane's looking like she's going to marry a hunchback, and Superman's going, "Don't marry him."
Yeah.
That's a cheese grit dream of some kind, isn't it? Yeah, yeah.
There's one where she goes into a booth and then changes race. And sort of
Yes,
says,
I know.
to see
That's
that.
a real famous
Quite
one.
a famous one.
That's-
Yeah. Speaking of fads,
That played well today.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we if there's any creators out there who have listened to this and you have an art, just keep going because your comic's amazing and we want to read it.
Mm-hmm.
So, sign up to.
don't worry about the noise out there. Just get on with it.
The only noise you need in your life is us weekly, released on a
We
Monday.
make no sense.
Yeah. It's a load of nonsense, but
At least they ain't them.
yeah.
You carry on with your day.
Yeah, exactly. We'll make you feel better because you're not us. Anyway, but we like to occasionally play a little bit of a quiz. On
We
this
call it
show.
our whiz quiz.
The whiz quiz.
Quiz. Yeah.
Are you a whiz kid?
It is.
I am.
But
We'll see how well I can do
that-
it.
Yeah,
Quiz,
what-
I don't
we're
know.
dipping back
turning up
into
now.
the world of Wizard. This time, Wizard
Wow.
from 2002, I believe, isn't it?
It is.
A
Yeah.
photo
Oh my
cover with
God.
the Green Goblin from
Yeah, from the
Yes.
movie.
from the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So this is the worst. So this is interesting because it's not just 2002, but they ran a thing about the last 10 years, and there's various things. I thought this might be the funnest one to talk about. So it's the worst fad of the last 10 years. So 2002 backwards.
Play along with us,
And-
listeners, as always.
And we're gonna
get this
go
wrong.
around. So we're gonna call it the worst fad, and everyone will get a point, and we'll see who comes out as the winner. If you can say what the worst fad from 1992 to 2002 was.
Oh, between those 10 years. Now,
Yeah.
when we're talking about fads, I just want to clarify this. Are we talking within comic book stories, or is it comic books as a product?
Anything to do with comics.
Okay, I've got one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I imagine, before we get going, I imagine Shadowhawk comic has transgressed many times on this list. But we'll see.
Wow.
Interestingly,
Just by
maybe
default.
once.
Shadowhawk is
Once
the,
or twice,
is the
yeah.
default answer.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Let's go with the guess first. Come on.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, guess
What have you
first,
got?
Matt.
Okay, I'm gonna guess. Okay, so looking from the perspective of 2002, looking back at the previous 10 years,
Yeah.
they're asking what is the worst fad in
Yes.
comics, correct?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say multiple variant covers.
I think I'll give you that. That's cover gimmicks. Is the one.
Right.
So that's the first one. That's actually the biggest one. It's joint biggest.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was
Again-
going to say chromium covers and foil covers,
Right.
hollow foil covers.
Shadowhawk.
It was
Shadowhawk.
Yeah.
What is
No,
your
I can't
problem with
say that.
Shadowhawk, Dan?
Very readable.
I always felt
It's your
that
favourite
was
book ever.
it overcompensated Shadowhawk because it was concerned that the rest of the Image comics were real big guns, so they brought the gimmicks with the covers, like to sort of like, oh look, we can
I
keep
see.
up.
I always felt that Valentino was just lying to himself a bit there. He was better known for comics like Steamroller Man. He was more at home in that world,
Yeah.
I think, in a way, wasn't
Yeah.
he? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay.
They
Who's
probably like confronted the Marvel lot and they said, "Oh, you're right there, Jim. You come along with us, all right." No shade on Jim Valentino. He's
right? So Vince, you can get the second guess.
Oh God, he's already stolen my first one.
Yeah.
Biggest fad. Events.
One of them is definitely. Sorry, would say
events.
no. Although I would have put that in there. One of them is so common today. Dan, do you know?
I'm gonna say, you know when they used to polybag stuff and throw in trading cards? Is that one on there?
No, that's not
God,
there. Well, that would have
wow,
been.
that-
Yeah.
That was like X Force
Free-
number 1. Didn't X Force number 1
Yeah.
have trading cards stuff? Yeah.
Maybe that's because the readers like that. You never know. That's the thing.
Yeah.
You got to think who's reading Vit Wizard.
Would this?
Oh yeah.
Would this
yeah.
also contain like the content of the comics, like the story, or?
Yeah, a couple of them do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because trading cards,
Overuse
God,
of-
I remember trading cards. Like there was the Hildebrandt brothers. There was like
Yeah.
X
Oh,
Men
yeah, I loved
ones.
it.
God,
I've got
I loved all
folders and folders of them. Yeah.
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 Overuse of splash page.
No, these are all good, but no. I'm going to say that Wizard fans probably fucking like that, didn't they?
them. Okay. Can you think of anything
Yeah.
else,
Face it.
Matthew?
Matt?
Would it be like swimsuit cover type stuff?
I'm going to give you that.
That's a good
9% is bad girls. I'm going to say.
Okay.
I'm going to give you half a point.
Okay.
Half
Yeah,
a point.
come on. He's got that on
Half
a
a point.
technicality there. Because he said swimsuits.
Could have been a man.
Yeah.
Okay,
what
we've
about,
got 1, 2, 3 more left.
X-Men team book ripoffs?
No. We've got one that's very, very it's slightly different to that. I can't give you it, but it's a similar idea. One is so common now. I talked about it recently with Punisher. It's so common. Talked about it with She-Hulk. Talked about it with Thor recently.
Miniseries?
No.
Limited runs.
What do you mean by that?
As in the title to start and then get cancelled after like issue 5 or 6. It's supposed to
Is
be
it just cancelled or
rebooted?
Yes. I know I gave you a clue for that one, so I'll give you half a point for that one, Dan.
Right.
So
I tell you what, the rules of this game are an absolute sham.
There's no rules. The
absolute sham.
The joint top one was relaunched with issue 1, which is just so common, isn't it? Yeah, so common.
Mate, that's fucking not quite out of fashion, is it?
Yeah.
Probably more common these days than
I think
it was
it is.
back then.
Yeah. We got 2 left. There are one that I don't think you're going to get, but let's try. So who wants to go free round? Who's going to go for another one? Let's have some quick fire ideas. Come on.
That's a reboot of a reimagining of a character.
That's very similar to what it is, but you haven't got the point quite.
Right. Okay. It's like legacy character.
No.
Yeah.
Replacing heroes with younger versions.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll give you half for that again, Dan.
Of course, this was like we had the Ben Rileys, we had all of these kind of things happening, didn't we?
Right.
The Superman and all of that. That was all happening, wasn't there?
Yeah, and there's one left.
Is this the one we're not going to get?
One.
I didn't think you get the last one. This is. You might get this.
Pogs.
No, good one.
That's a deep pull.
Also doesn't say Rob Liefeld at all in this.
Yeah.
He's not a fat, he's still going.
Yeah.
Right. Shall I give you it?
Yes, go on.
Lame spin-offs.
I was going to say spin-offs at one point. Fuck's sake.
Well, we're going to roll this over into another one.
Force Works.
Yeah.
Thunderstrike.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're going to roll this over.
I thought Thunderstrike pretty. It wasn't very good.
I loved it. I'm going to
because he looked like you.
He did a bit, yeah. I'm going to roll this over into the sexiest female between 1992 and 2002. This is characters, not just Nicola Scott.
And also, we have to, we do have to sort of clarify that these are fictional drawn people.
Yeah. So you're probably wrong if you think these people are sexy, but the wizard voters
you're right.
did vote on this.
We've all been there.
I'll go straight off the rip. Voodoo from Wildcats.
No,
I'm gonna smash you with a Psylocke. Psylocke's got to be in there. That is outrageous.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4.
92 to 2002, she was everywhere.
There's 5 characters in this.
Okay.
I'm going to say Lady Death.
Yes, 9%.
Yeah, good shout. I'll go for a Jason one. Vampirella.
Yes, 15%.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Think about bad girls. If they're sick of bad girls, it's got to be
the rest have been about since the 70s and 80s. The last 3, all Marvel.
All Marvel. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so
two are mutant. No, one's a mutant, and one's a kind of mutant adjacent, and the other one's kind of
Emma
Daredevil
Frost.
connected. Yes, White Queen.
She's
top. Second to top. Yeah. You got 2 left.
Was this okay?
She-Hulk.
No, good guess, but no.
Two left, but they're all Marvel, are they? Did you say
Marvel?
Both of them are Marvel. Yeah.
Mary Jane?
No. One. You can't touch this.
Pardon? MC Hammer?
That's my little clue for one of them. You can't touch this.
Oh, Rogue.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And the last one,
Is this still between 2002 and 1992?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the cartoon did a lot of work for Rogue, didn't it?
One of them had a lot of good covers, and she came back from the dead.
Jean Grey?
No.
Elektra.
Yes, Elektra.
Oh, of course.
Wasn't that good? Let's see if I've got any more of these. They're pretty good, actually.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It really is a window into another
Isn't
time.
it? Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah. It's a dirty window sometimes. A dirty.
Would that fly
window.
now? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
The best superhero is a bit obvious to
Oh,
be fair.
Dan, come on. These lists they still exist, Dan. Come on. These lists still exist.
Well, last one then. We'll do the best superhero between 1992 and 2002.
Oh, wow.
Most of them are obvious.
Yeah.
One is
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yes.
Wolverine.
Yes.
Batman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Spawn.
Yes.
Only one left.
Right.
2 left.
Shaft from Youngblood.
Two.
No.
2 left.
That's
Don't
never
forget
making
what's
a look.
happened in that time. What's happened in 92, 2002.
What's Superman?
Superman, When I Meet.
Yeah.
And 1 left. This is the weird one. I'm surprised to see that, but you've got to think back about what was happening.
John.
It's a DC character.
DC
Oh, okay.
character.
DC.
character.
I was going to say Jesse Custer, like Preacher, but I don't think that was
We're not talking.
Superhero.
superhero. Sandman.
No.
No, wouldn't have been.
The Spectre.
No.
Green Lantern.
Green Lantern.
Yes!
Yes.
Green
As
Lantern.
soon as you said Spectre, I just thought, yeah, it would have been the Green Lantern. Yeah, because Hal Jordan became the Spectre for a while, didn't he?
Do I win that on a technicality? If it was
Yeah.
Hal
No,
Jordan
no,
was-
come on.
I'm gonna
Unbelievable.
go with one more because it is so fucking weird. I'm not actually sure about it, but 1992 to 2002 best artist.
Oh, McFarlane.
Yes, 11%.
Jim Lee.
Yes, 11%.
Is this just going to be all the image
Yeah.
guys?
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah.
One of them
Mark
is 43.
Silvestri.
Mark Silvestri. No, actually.
Greg Capullo.
Oh, Mark Silvestri. Sorry, yes, that's a yes.
Yeah. Ian
Greg Capullo. No, one is 43%. You haven't got him yet.
Wow, 43%.
Joe Madureira.
Yeah, 7%.
George Perez.
No.
Too early for John Cassidy, wasn't it?
Yeah, not him.
2
left.
Eric Larson.
No, sadly.
Oh.
You got one who is 2% and one who is 43%.
So he's not the big gun,
43%.
man.
43%.
And it's not
Obviously,
Jim
it has to be one of the sort of big gun. Is it a big gun that was
Yeah.
George Perez.
who was working on one
No.
of these titles?
No.
Is it a Kubert? Is it Andy Kubert?
Oh, sorry, you missed him actually. Yeah, he's in it as well. He's 21%. Sorry. Yeah.
Arthur
So he's still got
Adams.
No. Although I'd also say more known for covers, same as Arthur Adams at the moment.
I've
Bill
forgotten his name.
Sienkiewicz.
I've forgotten his name. Who's the painter? Alex Ross.
Alex Ross.
Yeah.
Oh,
43%.
43%. Of course, that must have been
You're
the
talking
Kingdom
Marvels
and Kingdom Come.
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you got the final one you won't get is 2% was J. Scott Campbell.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, should have got that one really.
Yeah. Yeah.
Danger Girl's still that's got a big audience still, hasn't it? And they
It's
haven't
got
done
time.
Yeah, they haven't done any.
Let me tell you that we won't do the competition of the writers, but the writers are Mark Miller 4%, Brian Michael Bendis 22%, Grant Morrison 19%, Kurt Busiek, it's a strange one, isn't it? 15%, Kevin Smith 15%, Peter David 14%, Mark Wade 11%.
I think Kurt Busiek.
Interesting.
I think he did Thunderbolts, didn't he?
He did quite a few things, didn't he? Back
Because
then,
he would also be
um,
Thunderbolts was a
The Astro
massive deal.
City time
Astro
too.
City,
Yes,
loved
yeah,
Astro City, yeah.
Which was huge when it first started.
Which matches up with the Alex Ross covers, I think, as well, doesn't it? 'Cause he
Right.
did a few of those, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and that weird. There's some weird stuff going on there.
Yeah.
It's different. Much more
There's a
indie
few
these
anomalies.
days, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing
Mm-hmm.
is, like, there's that sort of nostalgic looking back at, history and those sort of things. The way that the internet and the way that culture has changed things, if a wizard did this list now, can you imagine the conversation that would be going on about it? The vitriol, the absolute vitriol,
Oh, yeah.
needless vitriol about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
I can't believe they chose him. He said X, Y, Z.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
Or these people haven't done anything. Why are they in the list? That sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Hasn't had a comic out for 3 years, but still made the list. That's a common one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mind you, that's the Eisner's for you, isn't
Yeah.
People who win awards haven't even put a book out.
it? Our favourite subject.
Yeah.
The thing is, they did the video game awards, and a game got awarded for something that it hadn't actually done yet. The game's coming out next year, then it got an award. So
Already got an award.
How does that work? Well, we've done the same in comics. You get
Yeah.
the creator gets an award for a comic that they haven't made yet. Which
I can't remember the two movies. Was it? I'm going to say it was Neil by Mouth and Trainspotting. I'm guessing one won Best British Film, the other one won Best Film Ever at the BAFTAs. And you're thinking, how does that work?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
not bad films, but it's quite a
Yeah, both great films, but yeah.
What else is great is the rest of this show.
Yeah.
And
Yay!
the end is in sight for all of us. No, that's a bit grim. But do we have any? Shout outs this week, gents?
I do, some very important ones. DUI 4 is now out there and available.
Yeah,
Go look it up
copy.
on Amazon. It's in every country you could possibly come from, on print on demand. And so what happens is you go to your Amazon, whether it's .com or .wherever, and look at it .co.uk, and it will be printed at a place near you. Mine was printed 4 miles down the road, so it's giving business to printers near you, which we think is really good, and it raises money for the Cartoon Museum. Please note that everyone also worked on it for free, with Simon Russell editing it for free. There's a lot of really good stuff in there, I have to say. Marvelous.
That's really good.
Yeah. Slam Comics and Jay Homer are launching issue 4 of the comic Republic on Global Comics today, the launch of this episode. One of my favourite covers of the week, actually, this one. Go and have a look for that. Really, really good stuff. I'm sorry, guys, we've had to cancel the drink and draw. I just can't get home in time from work that day, sadly. So apologies. We'll get a new date to you soon. What else we got? Great to see Alan and Chris Liska. What day was it? Was it Wednesday?
Wednesday night, yes.
Went for a curry with them on Wednesday. That's good fun. And happy Hanukkah to all those that celebrate.
Yes.
Okay. They're my ones.
Awesome.
Nice. What have you got, Dan?
Should I do mine? Yo Comics needs you, calling all young comic book creators coming March 2026. We're looking for kids who make comics to come and share their creations at the fair. It's at Stanley Arts 12, South Norwood Hill, London, SE25 6AB. If you go to Yo Comics Fair on Instagram, you can find out more about that. If you've got a young creative who'd like to pop up there. We've got another Kickstarter from Boo Rude Tunes, Big Guns versus Mighty Zombies comic book. 60-page busty action comic book as the Big Guns fight for survival in a zombie apocalypse, drawn by me, Boo Rude Tunes. If you've ever thought, I want a comic where there's a woman exposing her breasts on every page.
Not just breasts, massive breasts.
Massive breasts.
Yeah.
This is the comic for you.
Yeah, that's what I buy every issue.
Yeah. Give the people what they want.
Yeah.
He can draw, that geezer, though. I've got to tell you.
Really
There's a lot of people who just like draw, boobs here and there, but he can draw everything.
They're not just circles, people. They're not just circles.
The one character, he's like a Batman style character, and he's like the transition from going on the Batmobile from one scene to the next. It was a full splash page of him like driving the car over a woman's arse cheeks, with her like going off into the background. I was like, this is fucking magical.
I tell you what, that story did not go how I thought it was going to go.
Must have been a little car.
Like the ladies become giant size just for the. I can't imagine that kind of transition being used in Batman. And I think it would.
Should maybe think about it.
Help. Yeah.
Powerful stuff. Anyway,
They seem to be believed.
There's a little idea for you for your cartoon work.
Yeah.
Matt,
Right.
if you need any ideas. There you go.
There you go. But speaking about ideas, is that all of them, Dan? All you got?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Speaking of ideas, how about ideas of things for you?
One more, sorry.
Oh, look, you all heard me. I asked him, is that it?
I went down to the post office yesterday, and all the Grim Scary Tales have all gone out.
Oh, brilliant!
Amazing!
Brilliant.
Oh,
But you gave
I managed to
me mine
fuck
in the
everyone off in the
restaurant.
post office. There was a massive queue, and I went to the guy. I'm just dropping off all these prepaid stuff. because I just walked past this, dumped it at the counter and walked out, and there's all these people kind of like.
But you were saying the woman behind the counter said, "Oh, are you single?" And you said, "Oh, is it because I keep dropping off comics and I don't have any time for a wife?" And she says, "No, you're fucking ugly."
Fucking ugly.
Yeah.
There was words to those effect, a bit harsher.
Anyway,
I told people Dan was a murderer the other day, quite seriously.
Yeah.
Was it amused us?
Yeah. So we roll on this show. Jesus. Off the rails normally.
Like I said, acquitted.
Now. Anyway, it's time for the recommendation section of the show, and for you lovely people at home to add some more stuff to your wish lists and reading bookcases, whatever you've got at home. But whatever it is, we're going to tell you some awesome stuff to check out for. And guests always go first. Mr. Schofield, what would you like to recommend?
Okay. Yeah, so I just got this comic called Thunderhead from a Kickstarter. Lethal Comics is the publisher. So they're a Canadian outfit, which Karl Kerschel is a member of, and Wes Craig is a member of, and a bunch of other Canadian creators. I think their business model is they kickstart the comics and then they offer them on their website. This one I checked, it's not on their website yet, but I thought so. The concept is it's basically a superhero who gets his powers by taking LSD, or I don't think it's named as LSD in the comic, but it's
other drugs are available.
Yes, it's clearly like he takes a psychedelic drug and then suddenly he becomes this superpowered golden hair, like long blonde hair looking guy who looks like a cross between Captain Marvel, Shazam version, and Thor. And I was so impressed with this comic. It starts off and it's set in a nursing home and it's this old man, and the coloring is so evocative in this comic. This is one thing I really liked about it. The coloring. Oh, I should say it's written by Wes Craig. Wes Craig also does certain parts of certain pages, but most of the artwork is done by Kevin Castanero, who I had never heard before, but he has a really cool style, almost like reminiscent of early Trad Moore. In terms of like when he was doing the Luther Strode comics.
Nice.
Very reminiscent of that. Mike Spicer and Kelly Fitzpatrick do the color art, and I really love this comic because it's one of those ones where the color is so integral to making the story work, in that the first half, literally the first half of the comic, is you're setting up this kind of rhythm of this old man in the nursing home, and the nurse says, like, "Oh, come on, Mr. Jones, it's time for your medication." And then you flip the page and the nurse, it's the same panel composition, but the nurse has been replaced by this woman who is saying that she's the old man's daughter. And they repeat this rhythm, and the daughter's saying like, "Oh, don't you remember your grandchildren, Jack and Sadie?" And then they repeat that rhythm each page. It goes back to, oh, it's the nurse. And then you flip the page, the nurse is replaced by the daughter. And so you start wondering, like, is this like, is he hallucinating? That it's like something weird is going on. And then it kind of cuts to these two guys trying to break into the nursing home from outside, like these young guys. By the middle of the page, literally where the staples are in the middle of the book, the young guys have broken into the nursing home and they're trying to get this basically like a tab of acid to the old man. And there's an altercation and the tab of acid flies under a chair, and then the old man eventually finds the tab of acid and he takes it, and then you flip the page and the colors all go from drab greens and grays in the nursing home to, oh my God, now it's like Technicolor because he just took the
awesome.
acid, and so the whole comic now is more brightly colored and more saturated because now he's become this super powered dude. So I would thoroughly recommend going onto the Lethal Comics Kickstarter account and following their account so that you get notified when they launch issue 2, because they do say at the end of issue 1, hey, we're working hard on issue 2 and stay tuned. But I was so impressed with this comic. I loved it. Cool.
Casting, when you said when you said the artist Castanero, I was thinking, where do I know that from? Because I remember recommending the comic Grit from Scout Comics. He drew that, and he also did You've Been Cancelled. You've Been Cancelled from Mad Cave, Mad Cave books, which I think both times I mentioned those books, it was always his art was like, wow, this dude. And it's totally that. I can totally see the references you're making as well. You can see that in his art. It's got such an energy.
I'll have to check those out.
Yeah, it's like Trad Moore / Daniel Warren Johnson. There's little bits of all of that, but still got his own voice. He's an artist that you would recognize his style, and that's
I have only just discovered him in this comic. I really like Wes Craig's work, so I just supported it because I was like, oh, Wes Craig Kickstarter, okay, I'm in. But yeah, this guy is great. Amazing. Kevin Castanero, loved it.
Amazing. Tony, what have you got?
I've got 3. One's going to be very quickly done. So 2 of them are issue 2s. Now, it's not something I normally do in issue 2 because I kind of have said, if it's the same creative team, I kind of feel like I've said enough for the first time I talk about it. But these are both, for a number of reasons, both big favourites of mine this year. Both are top in regards to their craft, which is slightly different, and they both have something extra that's substantially different from the first issue. And the first one is Medieval issue 2 from Comixology Originals. Thanks to them for sending it through. Written by Neil Clyde, art by Alex McCormack, edited by Sarah Litt. It's in the first one, Danny Lando is our, I'm doing the finger quotes, hero in this, and he's woken up. He's a big baseball fan. He's woken up in the past, in the pseudo past, in a small village in a land ruled by the court of King Arthur. And it's that kinetic, in King Arthur's court. Is it Mark Twain wrote that? It's like that, it's that sort of thing.
Right.
But he's a massive fucking sweary, boozy, fighting bastard from New Jersey, and he ends up in this tavern. It sort of time jumps for a year in the first issue. Ends up in this tavern. Gets in a bit of a thing with the woman in the tavern, and anyone who turns up, he'll beat the shit out of them with his baseball bat. Now, it turns out in this reality, knights are mostly massive wankers. And they're always turning up trying to blag drinks, and he's always beating them up and stuff.
They're probably like that in real life anyway.
Yeah, probably, yeah. But he's invented toilets and inside plumbing and all this sort of thing. So
he'll go far.
He's got something for him going. But in the first issue, he's broken his bat, which is called the Boss, on one knight's face, who you meet later on. And so issue 2 opens with him. He's in the smithy, and they're building this new steel baseball bat with all spikes on it, and he's a terror with it. Turns out 2 other knights have turned up in the village. Now they're directly from the court of King Arthur. One's sort of tiny guy, and he's holding a shield that says Dove soap on it. And you're like, what the fuck's that? There's Dove soap on it. And the other one is like this massive beast of man, really tall geezer. And they turn up, and he hears about they're there, and he runs out with his new baseball bat, spiky baseball bat, ready for a tear up. And they're like, all right, calm down. And I'll tell you what, let's have a drinking competition. So he ends up getting on all right with them, especially the big dude. And he says, well, God bless you for, if you can drink a pint to pint for me, you're all right. And he says, well, we got to take you to King Arthur's court. So he takes him to King Arthur's court. And on the way to King Arthur's court, he notices that all the lights are on. There's electric lights on in the castle. And I won't ruin the next bit because there's at least 3 surprises in the next few pages of that. One of which has him massively eviscerating the face of another knight in this slight overreaction scene. But it's really good. It's big fun. Violent fun. I'd say I'm a man who over eggs fucking angry characters in comics, and he does it even a bit more than me. I think he's a little too angry sometimes. Sometimes you need to say to him, calm down a bit, but he is just this sort of ball of energy. The art is good. There's a lovely cover to it. I think I sent you guys the cover. The
I love that cover. The cover made me want to read them both, so I'm going to go.
Oh, nice. Good. Yeah. It's like an Akira homage, isn't it? With him walking away. Rather than walking away from the bike, he's walking away from a pile of dead bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of red in the cover. It looks really nice. The art inside is very readable. I don't know. Sometimes when I read books first, and then I'll go back and have a look at them and review them. And I enjoyed this as much on the second read. And when I was reading it, I didn't really want it to end because I was enjoying it so much. A lot of the times when we get through these digital copies through, you're reading it and you're thinking, oh, I can see the thing on the side, the slider on the side. There's still we've still got so many pages to go. And I was thinking, that's great. Please don't let there be loads of extras. Because some of these comics, there'll be like 20 pages. But then there'll be 15 more pages of extras, and I'm like, no, come on, I want story. I don't want extras. And thankfully, there's not loads of extras in this, but I really did like it. The art occasionally strays a little too digital for my likes. There's a little bit of the digital and the color carrying it a little bit, but it's eminently readable. And we had the Akira thing. So Comixology originals. I think if you've got the right kind of Comixology Amazon account, you can read it for free. I think, is that right? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think some of them you can like part of like Prime Reading and stuff like that. You can,
I think that might well be part of
like a library book kind of thing.
But with the sort of rise of global comics and the slight decline of Comixology since it's moved full time into Amazon, I think people will start missing stuff. Yeah, it seems like we're not talking enough about Comixology,
especially those ones. There's some great titles that have come out there.
Yeah. So
and they just sit there as a thumbnail. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is a lot of the time.
And it seems to push the sort of ones that we've seen there for ages to the front. You don't always seem to find the newer ones, but
you can get that fucking Batman, Absolute Batman, pushed
right.
And it's like, I've seen this. So what's the new stuff?
Yeah. Right. Good. That's my first one, guys. There you go.
Right. I'm going to just jump in quickly because I'm deep in the weeds of this one. A book that has been on my to read list, wish list for a long time. I'm reading it on Global Comics. This is a compendium, this is the first time I've properly sat down to read something like in depth by Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips. Now, who I know that
hot stuff.
The abundance of books they've done over the years. We were the criminal series, etc., and we've talked about them many times on this show. But there was always one book that I wanted to sit down and eventually. I always wanted to get one of the trade paperbacks and then start it, I think.
Well, this is the one that's up your street if there is one.
Exactly, and it stopped. I think 2015 was when around that was when it stopped publishing. No, I think 2014 it finished up. So this is over 10 years. But the compendium
before the show.
Yeah, Fatale. Came out. Now this is 620. Hang on, what is it? It's 646 pages. This thing. So
wow.
I'm reading it digitally. I imagine this thing is something that'll kill you. Especially around this time of the year, like the end, around Christmas and stuff, to sit down with some of these books that are massive that have been collections. I remember I read Nailbiter, that series, that serial killer series. I read that as a compendium, and that was just I like to do that around sort of Christmas and just sit down and.
Yeah, I'm the same. I've just bought the Kevin Smith Green Arrow to do a reread on.
Yeah.
The omnibus of that.
No.
Just
to sit down with a substantial book rather than just like a graphic novel. And I just thought, well, I'll start it now because it's 600 odd pages. It'll take me a while. I started it. I'm already 250 pages in because I just kept going.
Wow.
And it really is that. The log line: a reporter in 2012 stumbles on a secret that leads him down the darkest path imaginable to a seductive woman who's been on the run since 1935, a mobster who may be an immortal demon monster, and the stories of all the doomed men who've been caught in their decades-long struggle. So it's 1920s. It's pulp meets Lovecraftian, otherworldly like horror. Mix those two things together. It was the hotness when it came out all those years ago, and I thought that sounds like something I need to read. But I'm kind of glad I'm reading it in a big substantial. Rather than just getting a volume 1 and a volume 2, which I know a lot of people
did. It was issues,
did.
isn't it?
It was issues, and then of course I think volume. It was one of those things that whenever I went into a bookstore, I'd always see volume 1 of Fatale on the shelf and just think, I really must start that at some point. But if I had bought that book, I would have finished it in about 5 minutes, I think, because I've just been obliterating this. I love it. It's so well. It's there's especially the first story. It feels it's almost like L.A. Confidential meets some sort of H.P. Lovecraft type thing. It's macabre. It's wonderful. It's sexy, in its own way. The main character is a fascinating character as well. So I'm interested to see how, because it seems to be taking a story through different time periods. The volumes, I think it's 1930s. It starts off with, and then we're in the 60s. There's a guy in the second volume who seems like he's pretty much Robert Redford. So the kind of style. It's almost like you could, when you read a book and you can hear the music or you can feel the vibe and the way it's. I'm glad I started my journey with Phillips and Brubaker. I've read issues of theirs before, but this is the one I think is for me. So I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and it's been so long that some people might forget that it exists. So if you like that sort of pulpy, a lot of our listeners will probably go, "Yeah, I read that years ago." But if you haven't read it, Fatale. This is by Image Comics. Whether you get the volumes or like the compendiums, well worth your time because it's just good storytelling. Full stop. Dan, what have you got?
I've got The Stranger, issue 1 or chapter 1.
This looks great, man.
Yeah.
You just sent through the link for this. Yeah.
It's a great read.
Looks awesome.
So it's kind of flips the tale from being you're with the superhero, and in this you're kind of like taken and dropped in the shoes of the detective. It first starts out in the 1950s where you're introduced to the Stranger character. He's very much like a kind of Batman spirit type, fighting crime by night. And
almost a little Night Raven in there, I'm going to say.
Yeah, it's a bit of that.
Yeah.
And it jumps to the 1970s where the Stranger's long gone, but his arch nemesis has been released from prison. And he's murdered by what it seems like a new iteration of the Stranger. A massive police manhunt after the murder chases the Stranger down into a building. And they find the burning costume in a refuse bin. And the issue ends essentially with the detective saying someone on this floor is the Stranger, and there's about half a dozen suspects sort of lined up. And
oh, nice! I like who done it. Yeah,
so it's like a kind of superhero whodunit with the first issue setting up the premise of one of these characters is going to be the Stranger, and there's a whole host of them. Like, there's not some 6 foot tall guy there who's built like a brick shithouse and you think that's the Stranger. there's a mum with his son. There is a bit of a lug guy there, a kind of intellectual, a stunning young girl, a middle-aged lady, and an older gentleman. And none of them look like the person you'd imagine the Stranger to be. You got a kind of preconceived notion of it. It's written. Let me get to the credits page. Thomas Phillipson's the writer, letterer, designer. James Patrick's also helps out in the writing duties, and Devlin Baker on the art, which is absolutely fucking lovely. The use of colours in this, I try and hold it up to the camera to see.
Oh, this is Coco Comics.
Yes, Coco
awesome.
Comics.
Yeah.
What else have they done? Not sure. I know.
They do the comics festival.
Oh, it's them. Oh, them.
Yes.
Oh, right. Oh, okay.
The UK creators. So,
good.
I mean, look at that panel there with it. There's holding up for the camera.
Yeah,
Where, the
nice.
Strangers kind of over the cityscape with the helicopters
They
after
look
him.
great. This one, yeah.
Really fun book.
I'd have put money on this being an American comic, and I don't mean that in any kind of judgmental way,
yeah.
but it just has that about it, I think, somehow.
Yeah.
Everything's really well considered about it.
I love that the
really
cover
well
looks
done.
like a pulp novel.
Yeah.
It looks like a pulp comic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's great.
Yeah, looks cool.
The link to the comic site, if you go to search Coco Comics or the Stranger issue 1, you'll pop up the Kickstarter or their site, and you can go track it down. I think they're working on the second issue, which should be kicking off hopefully anytime soon. Because
the Stranger number 2 was 115% funded. When was that funded?
Oh, right.
This year.
I totally missed that then.
In September. It was September this year.
Okay.
So I think that's going to be. I don't know.
I'll have to grab that when it goes.
Yeah.
Reach out to them after this.
Yeah, reach out to them. Yeah, quality book. Nice. Tony.
That's me.
Yeah, you got another one?
I got two. One's very quick. First one is Gorehaus, another issue 2.
Yes.
Gorehaus Gore Follows Disjunction from Thomas Sluzek. This is a Kickstarter one. Again, this will be the third time I've reviewed a book by him. I really like his stuff. In issue 1, if you remember, I talked about it. Lucio, it's this small bit dweeby kid. He falls in love with a girl. She gets kidnapped by demons, and somehow he gets a demonic mask jammed onto his face that makes him this sort of steroided, massive beast of a creature, like massive fucking thing. And issue 2 begins with him entering the Gorehaus, which is the mouth of a creature, and going looking for his girlfriend, who his short-lived girlfriend. And basically it's him like fighting things all the way through it. The mask is, as is the traditional with all masks, is speaks to him. They have a conversation, and he just tears the fuck out of monsters all the way through it. I'll talk about a couple of the beats. The first creature, he attacks him as soon as he walks in, and he pulls the massive horn off this creature, rams it in its mouth, and splits its head open with blood everywhere. It's real full color. You can see there's a little bit of manga, a little bit of underground, a little both in there, sort of thing. He loses a hand early on, so he fights this demon that comes out of a stove, who's got kind of like fingers like Wolverine's claws. So he kills him, even though he does bifurcate his arm with these claws, and he says, "Don't worry, I'm going to heal from that." And then because he gets a hand chopped off, he has to replace the hand, so he jams this clawed hand on there that then grows into his arm. I've just written in my notes here, opens a fridge. He actually opens a fridge, and this like massive tentacled jelly creature streams out at him, who he defeats and then makes becomes his sword. So you can tell how crazy this is. That he gets a new weapon, and the weapon's got a big eyeball on it. I love all that sort of stuff. It's just like crazy. I mean, please do look up Gorehaus now, and you'll see it's fairly indescribable, but it's just vibrant colours, uber violence.
It's spelled like Bauhaus. So it's Gore Haus. So.
Yeah, it's really good. There's a couple of narrative surprises towards the end. I won't spoil anything. There is an ending to this arc, almost an ending to it. If you go to Comic Dojo Shop, bit.bigcartel.com, you can get his comics from there. Shaolin Grandmaster Killer is fucking amazing. Just absolutely brilliant.
You got me that. That's great.
Oh, mate, I love that comic so much. Yeah, but go on, mate.
The main character, they've got like the razor claws. He's got like the red and black striped material, like Freddy Krueger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm noticing that.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
But it's just, I mean, it just doesn't stop all the way through.
That's great, man.
And then you get a moment at the end, you think, and then something happens. So I won't spoil it.
They're homage in the Hulk cover that we also homaged on EUI4.
Yeah.
Great minds.
Yeah. And my last one, very quickly, is Foxfish and Other Tales by Mike Sedaka, self-published. Not only is Mike a mate of mine, he's also a valued member of the much missed That Comic Smell podcast.
Yes.
But he's also, I don't know if you know this about Mike, he's a zoologist. And so no surprise that this is 3 stories, anthropomorphic stories, that cleverly compare what would the world be like if they're animals, but compares them to how the world is as we are with humans. And it's just a massively feel-good comic. Mike's a massively positive guy, and this just warmed my cockles today reading this. The first story is about badgers in space, right? And badgers are on their space station, just like a space station like we'd have. And they get in trouble because a bit of space junk hits them, so they need to contact the otters, who are like, it's a parallel between the Americans and the Russians. And of course they think, fucking hell, these otters don't like them. And then they turn up. Of course, the otters are lovely, aren't they? So they get on fine with the otters. It's just this nice story. You can see that Mike loves drawing otters as well, I've got to tell you. And then there's another one which is about foxes, and they meet a shark. That's a nice one. Underwater, which is the old titular Foxfish, another title. And the third one is the Great Eagle Hunters. It's all seemingly happening in the same world, and I kind of feel like different continents, different countries have different animals in them, and the way that all fits together. And Mike's making parallels with the human race as we are at the moment, and he manages to inject, even though they're completely animal faced, Mike manages to project personality and emotion into them that people can't do with normal faces. Put it that way. But yeah, Fox Fish, and I'd say he hasn't got it for sale because he says I'm rubbish at that, Tony. But if you message him on Instagram at Mike Sedaka, which is MikeSedakat, Mike Sedaka, you'll be able to just drop him a message, and I'm sure he can
Fox
send you
Fish
and Fox Fish and Other Tales.
And Other Tales.
Yeah,
there you go.
Completely analog as well. Mike doesn't do anything digitally. So it's one story. His first story, The Badger, is black and white, obviously, quite right too, and the rest is in colour. And he's done it with coloured pencils and all sorts of things.
Nice.
Good old Mike.
Nice.
There you go.
Well, one thing that is digital is this show, because you probably listen to it via MP3 or however you downloaded it. I don't know how it all works. We just shout into microphones every week.
Yeah, that's right.
And then put it together, and then it goes out, and then we're in your ears.
They can get it on the Substack, can't they? That's one place.
They can. Which you should. How do they find the Substack, guys?
If you just Google Awesome Comics Podcast and Substack, it'll pop up.
Yeah.
And it also includes a link to all the books.
Anticlimactic the way you said that.
Sorry,
sorry,
didn't do the big sell. But also on the post, you'll see the comics you recommended and spoke about, and links to it, as well as links to our Slack, which you can join. And our, if you're looking for a last-minute Christmas gift, you can go on the ACP Redbubble store.
Yes.
By
acpgear.redbubble.com. Get yourself a shirt and look sweet.
And if you want another Christmas present, get DUI4.
Yes,
it raises money for the Cartoon Museum.
Yes, is it on Amazon? What should they search for on Amazon?
If you search for Drawn Under the Influence 4 or DUI4, it both comes up. Yeah, it's fairly quick to come up.
Brilliant. Yeah, go for and get it, because it's a great comic and for a great cause. Where else can you find us? Well, you probably listen to us on awesomecomics.podbean.com. We're on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, Stitcher, Podnose, Podknife. What networks are we on, Tony?
We're on the network. What is the difference between a knife and a Marvel event? A knife has a point.
Oh my fucking hell. Shots fired.
Sorry, I laughed too hard at that.
Yeah. It's always funnier when it's the truth.
Took me by surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you surprised by that? Well, email us, awesomecomicspod@gmail.com. I realise I've done it in a weird order this week, but I don't care.
I was ready to go.
Likewise, if there's any potential topics or anything that you want us to talk about in 2026, please do let us know. Likewise, if you've got a comic that's going to be launching soon, or if you want us to shout out anything, then get in touch with us. You can also follow us on social media at Awesome Comics Pod on Insta, at the Awesome Pod on X. Dan doesn't do this. There it is. He's done the sign, which the audio listeners can't see, but he looks a little bit like CM Punk when he does it. Anyway,
your Barnett's a bit wild today. I've just noticed.
I cannot wait to get it cut. I can't do anything.
Grow
with
it out again. Grow it out again.
No. I just look like the dad from Shameless. I'm not having that. But someone who always has sweet style is this week's wonderful guest.
Yeah,
Mr. Matthew Schofield. Thank you for joining us. I love your shirt, by the way. I've wanted to say.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
You dressed up for the pod, definitely.
Yeah.
I did.
He always dressed up for us. But where can people find you and your Substack and everything, and Steamroller Man, etc.?
I have one convenient location called Linktree, where you can find my links to steamrollerman.com, the comic, and my Substack, and the Kickstarter pre-launch page for issue 2. So that is at Linktree/SteamrollerMan, or you can just search Steamrollerman Linktree and it'll come up. So I'd love people to follow my Substack and follow the pre-launch page and anything you want to follow.
Well worth it, mate.
I'd love it.
So good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And it's always nice to see you on the ACP Slack, of course, a great community of people there.
It's so much fun. I wanted to just recommend to any listeners who are not on the Slack, like, it's a really fun group to be a part of, and it's free. So just come on, and join it.
Funny enough, we've added someone just as we've been talking. We've just had an email just come in.
Oh, there
you go. That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
just reach out anywhere for us, and we'll.
And we'll add you up, because it's just a lovely group of people just talking.
It really is
making comics,
and
the
a
memes
ton
channel always
of
makes me laugh.
supremely talented
Yeah.
comic makers on there. Like, I'm just blown away by a lot of the people
so
who
much
are
good
just
stuff on there.
Yeah.
doing their
Yeah.
own thing and are members of the Slack. You know, it's really
And Jay
inspiring.
Pictor, we're coming for you.
Yes, we are. In a nice way.
Yeah.
But Dan, are we doing a Secret Santa on the Slack this year?
No.
I missed the fucking boat on that.
Well,
We'll sort something out for the new year.
Yeah,
We'll try and get a drink and draw between Christmas and New Year. I think that's going to be the best bet.
Yeah. And surely there'll be like lots of people will be drawing over the Christmas period. We'll
I had such bad experiences at Secret Santa, not personally, but people I work with. It just became like terrible behaviour. Secret Santas where I was.
Really?
Yeah.
Excellent.
With some thick bloke bought a rubber brain and he kicked off. Yeah, it was like.
Oh dear.
Wow.
I'll tell you a story after we finish one.
Wow. Speaking of which, where can people find us online, etc., Tony?
Neverendingthing.com or Tony SEZ on Substack.
Nice, Dan.
You can find me on X at Vanguard Comic, and you can be Vanguard at VanguardComic.com.
Nice. Good. You can find me on social media at Jester Diablo. Thank you, Matt, for joining us again, and thank you for listening, people. Join us back next week as ho ho ho. We're going to be festive as fuck. Which is a very crude way of saying we're going to be quite jolly next week in the last show before Christmas.
Jolly every week.
Well, yeah, we are. We're jolly rude. Anyway, until then, read loads of comics. We hope wherever you are in the world, you're happy, healthy, and just doing the things you love. As long as it's not hurting anyone. You naughty people.
Some people like that.
Naughty. But until next week, from all of us at ACP Towers, have a brilliant week. And what else should they do, guys?
Stay awesome.
Stay awesome.
Oh, that was good, Matt. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.